Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a follow-up video on the Vaer Fieldwatch. So let's get into it. And here's the watch. I ordered this August 14th of this year, and I fell in love with it ever since I got my hands on it. And it is my favorite field watch so far, and I think I met my grail, if you would say, for lack of better words, that I don't need another field style watch because this one does everything that I want and it does it really well. So the major concern was with the seconds hand. When I seen videos, they were 2 and 4 years apart. And as you can see, the seconds hand is doing really well. And as we get to the 12 o'clock, which is really important to me for synchronizing time, it hits the 12 o'clock indice perfectly. So when it comes to synchronizing the time, I can do that really well. The dial itself really grown on me. I believe it's a black dial, but in certain lighting, it looks like a charcoal gray. And the indices themselves, the numerals, the font they chose really pops. I really like how clean and elegant it looks. The hands I was a little bit skeptical on because I'm not a big fan of syringe style hands. It's not that I don't like them, it's not something I look for. I noticed with the, as you can see, like with the seconds hand, they have the needle at the end, which is why they would call the hour and the second hand syringe, because it does look like a syringe. It really makes it so much easier to figure out what the time is, especially being how legible this dial is. So it is definitely grown on me that I really like the symmetry of the dial and the hands. It's so easy to pick out what the time is. The loom one here has provided to be pretty good for what it is. It doesn't last as long, but for what I need, I can easily see what time it is when it is slightly charged or fully charged. And I do wish the blue loom was the green color, but other than that, there's no real big difference in legibility when it comes to them. The strap, as you can see in the background, I have the black one and this seatbelt material style, like it feels like a seatbelt. It's very comfortable, and I've been wearing it on here exclusively. As I said, that I knew as soon as I picked this watch up, I was not going to use this, and even to this day, when I feel it, I do not like this. It does not feel nice. It's silicone. It's not my favorite, so I chose not to use this. I do like the design I mentioned in my video, but it's not my style that I want to wear. This one has shown some wear. As you can see, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it is fraying on the sides, sadly. It does have your crease pattern, which is not visible when you're wearing it, but it does seem to be holding up pretty well. The last thing I wanted to mention about the straps is the spring bars. I did mention this in the last video about both of them being tough to engage, but this one in particular, the spring bars are sunken in the strap. So it was always harder to engage these when I wanted to take it off to clean the watch. So that's a knock against the strap, at least with mine. It could just be a manufacturing defect. It's nothing too big of a deal. It's not against Vaer. It's just something I noticed when I did get the watch that is unfortunate. For the condition, I haven't seen any blemishes on this watch other than on the side here. I don't even think you're going to be able to pick it up. There's a little bit of a blemish on the stainless steel. I think I can kind of see it, but that's the only little nick that I've noticed that I've gotten on it, which I'm not even sure how that happened. The back of it is very, very comfortable. That's one thing I do have to say about this case is on the wrist, it feels really nice. The screw down crown has provided to be very nice. So when you unscrew it, when it comes to setting it, it's so nice to set the time, the date, and then screw it down. It's very, very nicely done. So I do highly recommend this watch. And in fact, I'm kind of considering at some point maybe downsizing and getting the 36 and selling this one. But this video isn't over yet. I do want to mention with the manual right here, I do have to say it does look reminiscent to a newspaper. So when you unfold it, they tell you everything about how to care for it and set the watch. I just like the way that this looks. I didn't show this in the last video, But the one thing I do really like is the watch specifications they do put on the manual, which is really cool. I do like that. And like that, we're back with the strap changed, and I think this does really well. I do like the way that this looks. Definitely way nicer than the other straps. No disrespect to Vaer, but there has to be some corner cutting, and I rather on the straps than on the actual main watch. First impressions getting the strap on, amazing. The spring bars engage easily, and I have to say, if you're getting a strap from them, you should see the same results. So right there, I didn't even put the watch on and break in the strap, and I'm already amazed by the presentation and also the quality. This has a nice buckle that does finish really well with the actual case. And I do like the length, like I said, 20 millimeter across, about maybe 18 tapering. So I do like that. It makes it a little bit more elegant. The color does come off a slight different through the camera, but it does look really nice in person. And the finishing on this, handmade, made in America, bespoke, can't go wrong with that. I'll leave a link down below to their website. Though with that, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you in the next one.